So, just a quick recap from last time. King died. Prince has taken over. He gets 5 big booms.
Oh, oh.
So, King dies. Son's getting ready to take over. One of the king's dying wishes is to take a bunch of knowledge given to them from Aphelion that they were kind of left to their own devices for, and essentially create a guild or a committee or something to investigate them. People that will actually know what the hell they're looking for and what to do with this information, because the general public does not. So he puts together something called the Crypt, the Council of Relic and Your Recovery Team. And pretty much it's a voluntary service, but there is compensation for those who join. Uh, Go figure, everyone joined that is part of this party. Well, who would have thought? There's a few people that come and go in and out of phasing, but upon groups being assigned, uh, Ornitholus, Gulp, Lancy, and someone named Winter is assigned to the same group. Meanwhile, while Ornitholus was trying to look for Winter, Gulp got sidetracked with a single white lady.
Yes.
Bro, the fact that episode alone, that specific people have gotten that timestamp burnt into my fucking brain because people were calling it out, and I had to find bro, the single white female line was so funny. That was the funniest shit I've ever heard. This and that, it's an hour and 39 minutes and 30 seconds into the fucking session. People talked about it so much I had to fucking burn the goddamn timestamp in my brain.
Wow, I didn't know I was popular.
No, that line was difference. That line was certainly special. That's for damn sure. But anyway, got a hold of Winter. Lancy got a hold of a map of the rough a rough sketch of the continent that even outlines some well-known undergrounds. And that's essentially where we left off. But as Winter is looking over a few things and whatnot, she suggests we get another person involved, being that it seems what we're going after is a heavy load of items, and another pair of hands could always be better.
True.
How do you guys respond?
So, as we're just looking around,
Well, Winter is asking.
so what did Winter ask? I was like,
Well, we have a decent load of artifacts that we're supposed to be exploring. There's a shield, a sword, amulets, rings, a couple necklaces, possibly more. That's quite a load for 4 people. And it seems one of them even disappeared to do their own thing real quick. In the meantime, we could use an extra pair of hands.
well, I know that I could always lend a pair of hands. I also know that Bob Billy could use. He could help out too. He mostly runs the stand. I know he also does outhouse cleaning.
That doesn't effectively answer my question. Because what can you do in the face face of battle.
You'd be surprised. He's the one who helped me handle. He's the one who helped fend off a badger that was trying to get my victuals.
Okay, if he's faced with a demon, what can he do?
I guess we're going to just have to wait and see. But don't worry, he's battle ready. I
By the judge of
programmed.
it, it doesn't sound like he gets much of battle experience at all, so we're going to deem him irrelevant. So, with that being said, I will go ahead and fetch one of my fellow co-workers to put it in common tongue terms. Excuse me a moment. She'll exit the library. About 20 minutes later, she'll come back with a Sean who is going to describe their character for me.
My apologies. Say again. I couldn't hear.
Winter returns with you. You are the extra set of hands.
So, standing next to Winter is person in plate mail armor. Put a dark elf decorative helmet covering his head. Doesn't say much. Decently short, actually. Like only a 5'4". Doesn't say a damn word. Just stares.
Gulp just looks at Ornthalis, and she's like, something tells me that this lady is going to be the kind who might participate in self-defecating humor.
I highly doubt that.
No.
I doubt that. Little one.
Well, I guess we got more help. Coming. So I guess we're gonna have to put our heads together and see what we can do. So where do we start looking?
Judging by the map that Lancy had acquired for us, it seems these tales align with certain. What do we say in your tongue? Well, to put it simply, there's a location, I should say, that is to the southwest of the central oasis. And that might be a good place to start.
So I guess we're going to an oasis, huh? Well, I guess that's a good place to start. I gotta admit, I ain't been to an oasis before. I've been to a spa, but I think they had to cancel all the other appointments for that, so that wasn't good for the guests.
Yes, it's amazing what happens when you spill oil into a sacred.
What? We can't hear.
Sir, get a little like 20 feet from your mic at least.
Mic check, 1, 2, mic check.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, I keep
Much
forgetting that my
better.
fucking my cable is not that fucking long, so where I have to put my fucking thing, I have to literally change ports from a 3.2 to a 3.0.
Fun.
No, it's not.
It doesn't seem it.
I didn't spill oil nowhere. They just had a little bit of trouble with my kind of skin.
Yes, and do you not know basic functions of anatomy?
Do I know basic functions of an enemy?
You produce oil.
Oh, no. Not that kind of oil. I use this kind of oil. And she's like, come on. And she starts like looking through the compartments on Bob Italy. She's like, no, that's not it. No, that's
Winter's eye visibly twitches in irritation.
like, this is the projector. Sometimes we have movie nights where we make him do projector movies. He offered for rear projection, but I didn't think that was going to be very fun.
Does anyone else know what the Blazing Hells a movie is?
I wish I could say.
Is it something you can eat?
It's like, oh, you's hungry.
No,
But
please.
if you dragon critters is hungry, all you had to do was ask.
Critters? And she looks very visibly offended.
It's like, here, I got this. She's like, do you like burgers with shaved meats or grilled meats?
Prefer raw lamb.
Sure, I'm a fan. Got it.
Anyway, we're supposed to go to a location that is to the southwest of the Great Oasis. That might give us a good starting point. I'm not familiar with any of these texts or legends, but Lancy seems to have an idea, wherever the hell they went. Probably have to go and collect their own things. They are a mortician after all. They don't actively carry their supplies.
Well, I guess the food will have to wait. Let's get a move on and go to that oasis. Probability, transportation mode. No, I don't mean that you're supposed to transport all of us.
This thing can't transform? What are you on about?
No, but he's got wheels on his feet.
That seems very impractical.
Yeah, especially when he gets into really sandy areas. Then I have to install treads.
You just described everywhere. You She begins stuttering, and you visibly see her brain frying from trying to remotely logic this creature out that is Gulp.
And she's like, oh, I think I need to call a doctor. It's like, probability? It's like, well, what do you think? No. All right, I understand. Press down on the medulla oblongata. $5 says it smells burnt toast.
They're betting deer now. There's no deer here. How do you even know what a deer is?
And she's like, all
Slowly
right.
turns to the paladin that's standing next to her.
He's just gonna give a shrug. He doesn't even know what the fuck a deer is.
She's like, probability's making me waste my time. Let's get a move on. Time is money, and you're breaking me, probability.
Time is money, and I feel ripped off.
So I guess we're on the move. We're like, oh, by the way, the stream's not up.
You mean the stream's not up? Not streaming.
Oh, well, the screen share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
So I guess we're moving along.
So I guess we're gonna start with the Oasis first.
Yeah.
Knuckly duckly.
Get my Oasis map real quick.
Oh, and finally, you do hear Bob Biddley speak.
That's a scary thought.
Like as you're like traveling with him, all he can really say are just really polite, helpful things. You seem to be in distress. All what he's saying is he don't lose that smile of his. And you notice he kind of twitches like he's motorized, because he is. It's like, they always in distress. It's like, wait, what did you say? Did you say they always in distress or they're always in distress? I couldn't tell. You gotta speak up when you talk.
Alright, we're just gonna use this for now, I guess. It's not nearly as what I was looking for. Actually, I guess this will work. Not what I clicked on. So I'm gonna need everyone to make me a survival check.
All right.
That's gonna be a 78.
78.
I wish.
What did you say? I heard a 78.
If that's
See,
the case,
survival.
if you can survive that well, you must be Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls don't got shit on me, homie. That's gonna be a 19.
Chuck Norris over here, buddy. Chuck Norris gonna be. You don't have to survive Chuck Norris. He just allowed you to live.
Mm-hmm. For real.
19.
19. What'd you get, River?
19.
19. John?
Hold on 1 second. Hold it up. Of course, Master. 13.
13. Okay. So, pretty much the entire trip there, it's your cookie cutter, like Australia kind of looking wilds. There's some trees and whatnot, but it's mostly desert and dunes. There's a bunch of wildlife that kind of scatter as you're perusing. Being the harsh weather that is a desert-like continent, of course, all of you do come equipped with things to help with the sun and the heat. Uh, as you progress to get closer to what is the Great Oasis, um, you begin to see more rock formations, more just rock in general, rather than just pure sand. Growing in closer and closer and closer, you then are greeted with more noise as you come in from the north. You are greeted with pretty much everything around the main source of water being nothing but like booths and merchants, exotic goods from across the entire continent, um, fishermen, and just overall, this seems like a hot spot for trade. And as established from last session, this is also a safe zone. Any crime that comes down here, as far as thieves and bandits, it's effectively war crime level of punishment.
Hmm.
Wow, this looks like a great place to set up shop.
Don't you have to shop back in town?
I set up shop anywhere.
The
You
hell
never know when.
How are you going to set up shop? You have nothing to shop with.
But well, I got materials that I can use to build. I can build a small stand where I can sell my wares.
You're a junker, yes? What do you have to sell?
Like, like, she's like, I got right now. She's like, you see her like check Bob Billy's compartment and like some of her saddlebags that she carries. It's like I got. Let me see in here. Here we go. It's like I got a thing in bath on the wall. Except it's kind of a, I call it the bath backwards. It can help you with coding and stuff.
With what?
Well, in case you have a message and you want to transport the message across long distances, it's got wheels on it, so you can record your message on the bath, and then you can program coordinates. The bath will go to those coordinates, and then the bath will say the message to whoever you want to hear it. Called the bath backwards. I'm hoping for to get a patent on it.
She looks to the rest of the group, lost for words, and not in a good way.
He's just gonna just shrug.
Same.
I,
Sort of like an apologetic shrug.
Why? Just because it's not one of them newfangled kinds of inventions, it can still be useful. You never know when you're going to need it. Plus, if you want, it can be inconspicuous because you can hide it on your wall, and people think, oh, it's just a bath on the wall. It's nothing special.
A bass on the wall. What are you going to do with a fish on a wall?
No, I mean, that's what it looks like when you hide it from folks.
Why would anyone put a fish on their wall? Fish are meant to be eaten.
Sometimes, if you get a memorable catch, you want to preserve it. So you mount your fish on the wall and say, I caught that. Because that's what they do where I come from.
Looks to looks to the paladin.
asinine.
Reminds me to not save this one.
How come you never heard of mounted fish on a wall? Did a truck back up on your freshly paved driveway?
Because fish are meant to be eaten. They're not a house decoration.
Maybe not where you come from. But it's like, anyway, so where do we start looking for this here? Whatever we're supposed to be looking for?
Well, this is spot A, and now we have to go southwest of here. It's clear that you have other obligations. But to be
Well,
fair, this would be a good spot to brush up on information in some ways.
yeah, let's go looking around, see if anyone's got anything special.
Everyone's got something special here. Alright, so what are we doing?
Well, Gulp is gonna like start looking around, asking for him. Like, she's like, well, she wants to know, like, is there anything special we want to ask any of these merchants?
Is there?
I can't think of anything.
Well, she's like, so she walks up to one of the merchants and she's like, And she's like, "So, do you guys have one of them magic potions? Ones that'll help heal me because Scarpels don't have the best health care."
I'm sorry, dearie, but who are you?
Oh, Gulp Hogback Slugnut. I'm the junkers who kind of handle business in the big city. But
Junker? Oh, thank goodness. Here you go. I've been waiting for you kind to pass by. Drops a fucking potato sack of just metal scrap.
and she's like, "Hot cat's taking a barf. Look at all that stuff."
Okay.
Well,
Next customer, please.
and she's like, she grabs the sack and she's like, "Okay, can I examine what's in there? Because
It's
it's one of my."
literal just a bunch of metal scrap. Give or take about 20 pounds worth.
It's like just metal slabs of stuff.
Scrapes, scraps, shavings, coils. Just leftover metal.
She's like, "We could build something out of this." So can like she comes back to the group. It's like, "Look what I found. Look what one of them merchants gave me. It's a bunch of junk.
Seems fitting for you.
Maybe to the untrained eye, but I know how to make all kinds of things out of junk. Do you guys need anything specific, like something useful that we could use on this quest? I could probably build it for you out of this stuff."
I'm very doubtful you can make human life out of that.
I made him.
That's not human. Nor is it life.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I wonder about him.
There's nothing to wonder about.
Always ready for service. See, he's polite.
Yeah, because he's made that way. So that reminds me. On Thalistar, you're one of the older ones from around here, given the Greys. What do you know of around here?
It depends. What exactly are you looking to know?
Well, the more I'm reading of these texts and describing this here legend, is it just me, or does this tomb seem to be something from within the shifting dunes? There's various burial grounds from over there, and even from the ancient ways of like dragon burials and such. They have a few of those over in Foruna too, I believe. That's also in a desert. But once upon a time, that's also where they buried the kings. And being that dragons are divine beasts, wouldn't really, well, for lack of better terms, be obtuse to bury kings there. Is it possible we're literally walking into a graveyard?
It's not possible.
Not
It's
possible.
certain.
Uh, fair enough.
Absolutely certain.
There we have
Can
it.
I hear it?
Yeah,
Can
you
I
can
hear
yell
you?
us.
Yeah. And she's like, "We're going into a graveyard?"
Metaphorically speaking, and mildly literally.
Spooky. Well, guess we're going to have to be prepared. Who knows what we might encounter in there?
Sand.
Sand, dust, perhaps some bones. If I remember right, it hasn't been used for the past 2,000 years, if my reading serves me properly.
I haven't dug that far into it, but I remember stories of it. The more I'm reading this, the more it actually begins to sound similar.
In what ways? Perhaps we can find some way to tell for sure.
Well, the story is describing that of a well endowed individual. He's very strong. He's very heroic in his deeds, and upon his death, he was buried here in a tomb in a coffin, buried with all of his belongings, things that were beyond mortal understanding. Because magic wasn't invented during that time, but these things nowadays would be the equivalent of, say, an arcane item, or even an artifact. Bear something at that time is unseen of. So, of course, with something like that and his heroic deeds, part of me wonders if he's put there not because he's a king, but just because of his status.
Pyro, would you like a history check on this?
Yeah,
Just
go for
to,
it.
all right.
Just to fact check
The
it.
main goal is to
Blow
fact
up.
check and also to figure out what they would have, see if I can remember what they would have called these arcane foci before they were known.
Right.
Can I use one of my artificer infusions when I start building with my junk?
That's going to be a 26.
Hold that thought, Connor. That's a good question, actually. So back then, this is the epitome of a wondrous item because everyone wonders how the fuck it works. Uh, it does not bear arcane property in the fashionable common sense of how someone literally imbued it with magic. These things creation, it's something was different about it. Something during the creation process pretty much blessed it. No one can really explain how or why, and that might be part of the reason why the crypt is looking after this particular legend, because of the fact that it's unexplained and they're wanting to study it. But with the shifting dunes and how it's a burial ground for divine beasts and kings, it's not describing this person to be a king, but due to his heroic status, they might have buried him there just because they were on the same level of respect.
Well, either way, dealing with such wondrous items such as these, or holy relics, it wouldn't surprise me that the hero of our story would be buried there, considering that they were seen to have been blessed by the gods themselves.
Well, let's see if they're still there. No grave robbers these days. No respect, no morals.
I'm sure that the temple we're looking for will have more than enough security there.
We might find out. Does anyone need to do any shopping, or do we just need to move on?
The only thing I'm in need of is a couple more rations, and then I'll be ready to go. So, unless the rest of you lot have more shopping to take care of, I'll meet you at the town gates in the hour.
No,
I'm,
good.
I'm gonna start building.
Alright, you're saying about your infusions. What infusions do you have prepared?
Well, I was gonna see if I could use the enhanced defense infusion. All I need is an item, which is a suit of armor or a shield, and she could easily build a suit of armor out of the scrap.
Right, but that would take time.
Time which we do have.
Not 8 hours worth.
Oh,
You
what?
could get started on it, though. I mean, it's not like you lose all your progress if you cut it midway through.
Right.
What about a shield? Could I build a shield?
Shield would take only a fraction of that time, but you're still looking at like a short rest amount of time.
Ornitholus did say after an hour he'd meet everyone up at the gates.
Right. Which with you,
So-
that would be worrisome to us.
That does technically fall within the time limitation.
So we'll see right there for
To at least get halfway done.
you. I believe that's,
What about enhanced weapon?
that's it.
So, Connor, I'm gonna DM you something real quick.
All right.
It just says fuck you in calligraphy.
Also, thank you, Pyro, for the timestamp.
Just throw that wherever.
Naturally. Don't mind me, it's just my painter's tape.
Oh, so he did have a question, actually.
Okay.
It's nothing about supplies. I'm perfectly fine. I did have another I did have an actual question, though. What's a graveyard?
It's pretty much
Where I
it's,
come from,
it's particularly a plot of land made for burying the dead.
understood. Odd tradition, but okay.
Remind me of your name again?
Ineva.
Aneva. Pleasure.
Nice to meet you. And your name is?
Ornithologist.
Good to meet you.
The pleasure is mine. Now,
And so, I guess, like, what were you gonna send me, River?
check your DMs.
All right. I. Oh. Oh, sorry. Um. So, well, I asked. I asked if anyone needed anything built.
Right. I'm saying as far as like for you doing your own thing though.
Oh. It's like, so does anyone want me to build something? I could probably give you one of you guys a shield or like a weapon that you could use to ward off anything that might give us trouble.
I've come very nicely equipped. I appreciate the offer.
As do I, little one. As do I.
So also, you new person. What was your name again?
My name is Ineva.
Eneva. I think they made a convention out of you.
Oh, I mentioned
oh, it took me a sec.
I don't exactly come from here, so
That actually took me a second.
Damn.
Nava,
I got
what fucking?
right off.
No, because what I'm like convention. Okay, what fucking? Okay, there's PAX East. There's PAX. What fucking convention? And Geneva Geneva convention. I had to say it in my head in full. Geneva convention. Oh, Geneva convention.
actually, it's the Geneva Tenets,
Yes, actually.
the commandments.
Is that the Ten Commandments? From the Bible?
You mean the book written by the big man in the clouds?
Yes.
Boy. What does it say?
Right up.
What does it say, boy?
But yeah, she's like, do you need anything built? Because I can build you a weapon. I can build you a shield. I can build you like spell stuff. Or I
I'm
could.
perfectly fine. But
If
thank you.
anything, you're so keen on selling things, why don't you make something to be sold? That's not a fish.
Well,
I
I'm
think we
currently
have more
working.
than enough around here.
That was another question. You actually eat fish?
Yes, it's quite healthy.
Oh, where I come from, the fish are, well, either non-existent or way too large.
How large are we talking? Because the larger, the better. More meat to go around.
So I guess she's going to like utilizing some of the junk that she has. She sets up like a makeshift stand that's just made out of like 3 slabs of metal that form into a rectangle. And she places 2 slabs of metal onto the dirt into the sand and uses a 3rd slab to act as the table part.
There you go. That'll work.
And she like has Bob Biddley like roll up and it's like, all right, Bob Biddley, time to set up Bob Biddley's restaurant right here. See what we can cook up.
Oh dear God! Oh no, that poor metal. The poor food.
So
Before you get fully set up, take these, and I'll hand gulp 2 gold coins. Stick them in the jar. Prove that you've done business before.
oh, you the smartin' for that one. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. You should go into tech support.
Huh. Also, while you're at it, about how long do you plan on keeping your shop open for?
Well, however long you guys need to do your business, I'm just setting up shop so I can make a few coins so I can help you guys out.
About what time of day is it right now, Pyro?
It's like midday.
Midday.
There's
So
gonna be a
in
lot of
about 20 minutes, that fucking metal is gonna be piping hot.
So, I say we give it till about sunset. Better to travel in cooler weather. Now, if you'll excuse me, and Ornitholus will take off, head further down the market space.
Okay.
So you want me to put out the menu for Billy for the Bob Billy like burgers and stuff?
Oh, you're not building?
I am. Oh, well, I was gonna build, but nobody wanted anything, so I was going to start cooking.
What about building stuff for Bobility, like you were asking about?
Oh, she was talking about like cooking up food to serve to any hungry hombers that come along to make money for us so we could afford more stuff.
Well, you've got quite the competition here.
I know. That's why this is a gamble, but we'll see if it works.
Let's go gambling!
Oh no.
Okay,
So
so Pyro, I'm gonna DM you something real quick about this whole situation,
Time to get.
and you let me know what you think.
I hope I'm not doing nothing wrong.
time to gamble. Silly.
Let's
All
go
right.
gambling.
Oh, dang it.
I hope I'm not doing nothing wrong here.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that because I'm trying to help you guys out is all.
No, I don't think you're doing anything wrong at all, dude.
So
Yeah, actually, yeah, actually. Um, Kana,
yeah,
make me a charisma check. I'm gonna make my own charisma checks over here. See what my competition has.
19.
Total?
Yep.
300.
And then make me a cooking check.
Cooking's not on here.
Do you have a cooking utensil?
Um, Probably should have done that when we were building her, but
Okay, so then just make me a flat check.
a flat check of what?
A flat check.
All right. Straight up 18.
Nice.
Okay. So, as you're making up your little wannabe hibachi stand, because that's the only way I'm going to describe a flat sheet of metal being used to fucking cook in that 200-degree sun. Not literally, but you get it. You notice that a lot of your competitors are selling various things, like fish, a lot of fish actually, being the oasis right here, fish-based products. But there's a fair amount of them that are making delicacies, uh, sandworm kebabs, things like sand crabs, scorpion type things, just all kind of like street food snack bar stuff. Um, so as you're getting a few people walking by, and you're at least got some things on your little metal slab, and you know it's pretty hot by this time as you're finally finished up and you're pulling some food out of your packs to start cooking up. Uh, you got a few people that are wandering and walking around.
And she's like, come get your finger flicking chicken fingers right here.
One person pretty much hear you call out. I'm sorry, say that again.
It's like, these are special finger flicking chicken fingers. They're breaded, they're delicious, and they're fried up right here with all the fixings.
Fried.
It- yep,
On
fried.
this. How is this fried?
It's like, that's a Scarful family secret. You see, we yeah, you see next to her, she has like next to her stand, she has a vat that she's deep frying them in.
Okay, where'd you get the vat from? Like, genuinely.
It's it's part of it's part of her scrapping. It's part of her scrap.
Okay,
I
where'd you
probably
get the
should.
oil?
I thought that being a junker, she'd have oil on standby.
Yeah, crude oil. Or like, WD-40 oil, but not cooking oil.
Oh,
How long
I
has
never,
she been in business for? Like overall?
like overall, how long has she been doing this job?
Yeah.
She's been doing this for roughly around 5 years.
I'd argue that that's enough time to be able to get some used oil and be able to clean it out, get the skill, personally.
Pyro, it's up to you. You're the boss.
Okay. Say, like chicken tallow would work. I think it's chicken-based food.
I'm gonna work on this so it doesn't seem like I'm making an ass pull next time. I don't want to seem like it's unfair, you know.
Alright, so anyway,
So
you,
yeah,
you got a makeshift wannabe fryer made out of a bunch of tin wire and and chicken tallow.
and she's like, don't ask me where I get the chicken from.
Well, that was going to be
'Cause
my next question because I haven't seen a chicken in forever. Not many use chicken around here.
it's like, um, well, since I've been into town for a while,
How long have
I've
you
been
been in town? Because there's not really necessarily a town around here. Not
well,
for a good while, at least.
well, she's talking about the city, you know.
Yeah, the city was like a couple hours away.
She's like, I come from a city where there's a small place where I get my chickens from that I can that I cook them up and deep fry them and bread them like this. But right now, this I don't have a limited supply, so come get it while you can, because we're going to be running out, and then soon I'm going to have to resort to Billy Bob burgers.
You say the breaded, better than what?
Breaded in batter. You see, we had to have I talked to some of the cooks in the town, and they lended me a little bit of batter that I could use for some of this. But they said they needed to keep a good portion of it because they got their own business to attend to. But I made sure to use what I can, because when you're a scrapper, you gotta use every bit of stuff you can to make what you're cooking. That's why I stay in business for as long as I have. 5 years to do it for you.
Still never answered my original question. I understand that, breaded and batter, but what are you using?
Sorry, Pyro. I fail to understand where do I need to clarify?
Okay, there's like 30 different ways to make a batter. Well, what is Gulp using to make the batter?
Um,
Duh, it's the best type of bat.
Guano.
Oh, oh,
Hey, you're the one who said some type of bat.
oh. I
But
mean, like,
no,
The chicken has
ale
COVID.
batter was
Chicken has
actually
COVID
pretty
19. Chicken
popular.
has COVID.
COVID. That's COVID. It's COVID.
It's got COVID 19.
Holy crap.
Dear God.
Dude,
so is there anything that you
there's something COVID.
is there anything that sorry, I'm just not. I have never made chicken before in reality, so I don't. I'm kind of inexperienced for what I should need.
It's the batter,
Alright,
not the
so
chicken. Batter.
Batter can be made multiple different ways, but realistically, what you do with breaded chicken, the most common way that people do it is they make it essentially an egg wash kind of thing. They
Oh,
they kind of take out the yolk. They'll make their egg whites, or even mix in the yolk depending on what they're doing. Put in their seasoning. Put in a spit of milk. They'll dip the chicken in, and then dunk that in flour. Now, how many times you do this process, going back from dry to wet, is how crispy, how crunchy, and just how many layers of actual crisp you want. Most
See
will
what
do between 2 to 3.
Yep.
see what you do is you just call him a dirty fucking thief who's trying to steal your recipe. You can avoid answering the question altogether by calling him a dirty thief.
It's a family secret.
Boom. Just say it's a family secret, and I don't want you to take my family secret. So
Witch! Burn him!
literally, gaslight him. Gaslight,
so
keep girl boss.
so I guess I do it the old-fashioned way then.
My arm, butter.
If you allow that, Pyro,
What's the old-fashioned way?
what you said.
Oh, that's the most common way. Old-fashioned way is something completely different. Not gonna lie.
Oh, well, that's what you. That's what I.
So traditional
like,
wheat flour and egg wash.
yeah.
Okay.
Made out of unicorn shit,
Along with
tears,
Gulp secret spices.
and
Yeah, with Gulp's secret spices and stuff.
it's just crushed up
uh,
LSD.
No.
Oh,
So
It's crystal meth.
so so
Chili P,
Pyro.
baby.
So Pyro, this is what like I'm gonna send it to you. This is what it looks like when it's
Chili
done.
P.
So Pyro, this is what it looks like when it's done.
that's
the bomb,
that's literally
yeah.
just Popeyes.
Oh, that's gross. No, get it away.
Popeye's not that bad.
Don't like
No,
Popeyes?
essentially, what I'm looking at is literal chicken wings that have been like you go to the store and you buy chicken wings, and then bread those. So that's essentially what I'm looking at.
Every single time I've had, like the first and only time I've had Popeyes, it fucking actually made me sick. I actually got food poisoning from it.
You've been to the wrong Popeyes then.
Let's say you've been to the wrong Popeyes then. Popeyes, depending where you go, can either be some of the best damn chicken you
Yeah,
get,
it was over in good old
or
Albany.
just very, very mediocre. Either way,
This
it's gonna outperform KFC all day.
this
It was
is
over in
this is
Albany.
this
Where
is
I went
the
to
one that I sent you is a photo of Lee's chicken.
ooh, ooh, ooh.
Who is Lee?
Lee's
And why
chicken.
is he chicken?
Lee's chicken is a chicken place down where I come from.
Why is he? Who's Lee and why is he chicken?
It's really really good. It's probably the best chicken place I can recommend.
Who's chicken?
So-
Why is he in?
So, as he's asking all these questions, and you're kind of trying to multitask with keeping up with the food and whatnot. Well, curiosity has me. What are you pricing these at?
River, what do you think a good price for like just small chicken strips is?
$20.
20
Rip
bucks.
him off. Rip him off. $20.
I'd say like a
It's
6-7
inflation.
copper for a 4-piece.
Seven copper for the 4-piece value menu, and if you for the value meal item, and if you want for the family meal, that'll be about 10 silver.
Well, you say meal, so I'm assuming there's more to it.
Yeah, we can serve you up some mashed potatoes and some sauerkraut.
I'm sorry, what? What is this
Who's
sauerkraut? What is kraut?
It's like Scarfels come up with different food items from all over the place. That's what we managed to find some of the best food ingredients around. But you're welcome to try it. I'm sure you travelers love new things and stuff. We've also got this special one-time thing that we got from the gardens back in there is sweetened is our sweetened carrot dip, which is sweetened carrots ground into strings and served with sweet raisins.
Raisins.
Which is sun-ripened grapes that we got some special stuff for that, but that's like a specialty item, but it's very cheap because we know that with at Bob Billy's, our customers come first.
He's gonna set 2 silver down.
Awesome. You want the family menu. You want the family meal. I'll have that whipped up for you in no time. 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
which lamb?
And so she fixes it up. She like puts the spices on it, and like much like a hibachi grill, there's a slight bit of flame, like poof, like flambe. And she serves it up does the thing with and sticks it in a basket with dipping sauces and everything, and serves it hot. It's like, there you go, sir. Enjoy the chicken. Here's the value. Here's the family menu meal with all the fixings, including everything you need.
All right then. Well, you have a good one though. He's gonna walk away very. He's not sure what to make out with this experience.
I wouldn't be making out with my food. That's weird.
You notice that the chicken was like topped with a tiny little toothpick flag that has Bob Billy giving a thumbs up. And it's like, look at that, our first customer. We've been doing good. We've been doing good stuff out here. I should have thought of this a long time ago. We're in real money. This is way better than the time I set up that lemonade stand. Cause you made the lemonade hard. You spiked it. Then you spiked the lemonade, and then we had to change up the drinking age. You know we can't serve lemonade like that, especially when it's spiked.
All right. So, Sean, what are we doing with you?
But I was gonna try to stick around Winters, because he doesn't really know much about life in general.
Okay.
Following them around, asking random questions.
So essentially, what she is doing at the moment is more or less asking about the shifting dunes and what to expect, because she hasn't been out there. More or less, what she's getting told is, aside from what's inside the various tombs itself, the only real thing you have to worry about are the sandworms and this a few other creatures that live within the sand, but your chances of finding them in that region are very slim. But more or less, the sandworms are the most common answer.
Okay.
Anyone else want to do anything?
Well, now that I've got my first customer, I'm gonna have like, you want me to? What time is it by the time I've served up food?
By the time that first customer came in, it would probably been like 15 minutes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be serving up more Billy Bob burgers now, and those are really easy to make. But you've seen what our Billy Bob burgers look like.
So we're no longer doing chicken.
Well, I didn't know how much chicken I'd have. It's your rules.
I'd assume after this one, being that you said for a limited time, this would be the one time that you like. As soon as you've sold them all, you're sold out. You're 86.
All right, so she's going to the Billy Bob Burgers,
Okay.
and those are really easy to make. But like she's not going to serve like the monstrous like several thousand calorie burgers.
Roll me 3d6.
All right. Sorry, I'm multitasking while I'm doing this because I'm starting to get hungry.
Have Bob Biddledy whip you something up.
Also, how would you think her chicken tastes?
Like chicken.
No, I mean what kind? Like what would you? Because you're a cook, you know chicken.
I'm a cook and I know various flavor profiles, and they are all different from each other. So there's no way to like say the chicken tastes like chicken, but it's based on the seasonings you're using. As far as
Well,
You
what
want
the actual breading.
spicy chicken? You want more mild chicken?
hers is seasoned with paprika.
That's it.
Oh, not just paprika, but just hers is seasoned with paprika and some other spices. So like it's kind of
So
a
So that's between a mild and a medium, depending on what other seasonings you're using in it.
yep. If you're looking for stuff to like sit next to the paprika, this way it adds more to the paprika without it being overbearing.
yeah.
I would argue that's more of a mild.
She wants you to taste the meat, not the heat, if you know what I mean.
Right. Yeah. So that's more mild heat. The more of it you eat, the the more it's gonna build on top of itself. Rather than you take a bite and suddenly your ass is slapped and your asshole is screaming.
Yeah, no, she's not gonna spice it up too much. She doesn't want spicy chicken, otherwise she wouldn't get customers.
You'd be surprised.
But she does have a spicy dish. And if you order the spicy dish,
Wrong button.
Hey, hold on.
That's the wrong button.
What the fuck?
so she's like, so she you see Bob Biddley holding up a sign that says Billy Bob Burgers, come and get it.
Yeah, so what'd you get on that dice roll?
All right, so let me just 3d6. You said.
Yep.
Yes.
423.
All right, add that up. That's how much you get in silver.
The 9. She's ordering out the Billy Bob burgers and a specialty item called the Firehole burger.
All right. So after some time has been passed, you'll all regroup up within Ornthalis at the gate towards the southwest. Ready to move back on. At this point, it is hitting sunset hours. Place is still lively as ever, if not more.
Perfect. All my shopping was just picking up 2 weeks worth of rations.
Yeah, that'll 2 gold. A week of rations is a gold.
Easy. Everyone prepared now?
Yep. And I got us some extra change. And she's holding her jar for like change.
That's good. I hope that the coins in the jar helped out with business some.
Yep. I got 9 silver. Look at that.
Not bad, little one. Not bad at all. All right. Well, with that said, we should go ahead and depart. Go till
Yep.
about middle of the night, set up camp, and then we'll continue our way afterwards.
So we set up camp here.
So he said to move out, go till about midnight or so, and then set up camp after it hits midnight.
All
However
right,
far.
then. Let's do it.
All right, I'm gonna need everyone to make me a survival check.
$18.
That's going to be 16.
All right, so being it's
23.
about okay, being it's about like give or take 10 o'clock. So we're wanting to do 2 hours worth of travel.
I'd argue go till about midnight, 1, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so if it's about 10 o'clock now, no, I'm thinking we're in the southern hemisphere at this point, so it'd be about
Okay, you said it was during sunset.
yeah. I'm already thinking real lifetime. Yeah, so that'd be about 5 hours worth. All right, so as you guys are going through the sands, um, let's see how do I elaborate on this? So pretty much it's like the Sahara kind of thing, where it's just lots of desert, lots of borderline dead grass every good few miles. You may see off in the distance the passing merchant or traveling cart at random. This area is not very high with travelers. More or less with like wildlife and monsters and anything. Some that don't even pay you much mind. Um. So I'm gonna have each of you make me a flat check. River, you get advantage on
Nat
yours.
20.
Okay, never mind then.
That's gonna be a 10.
And
15.
okay. So, for the first few hours, what all monsters that you are hearing don't really bother you much. It seems like they're more afraid of you than you are of them. Um, Further out you go over the next hour after that, you're beginning to wonder because the level of panic you're noticing before they're even in your vicinity. So you're traveling forth, going towards where this map is pretty much directing you to go. And as soon as you start seeing these animals, they're already in a panic. I'm gonna have each of you make me a nature check.
Everyone to make a nature check.
Everyone make me a nature check. See if you could figure out why these animals are in absolute chaos.
You're not gonna believe this.
That's gonna be a 5.
It's another nat 20.
Okay.
So 22 total.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to add in the +1. So it's going to be a 6.
Okay.
As if that fucking hurt.
You said nature check. Okay, so nature +4, so 18 +4.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much if you got above a 15, you're fairly confident. They're running from something.
This is like, so Gulp's like, all right, Bob Biddley,
And
hand me my.
everyone but Sean got above a 20, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
I do believe that be the case.
Okay. As you're watching them kind of like scatter and panic, you vaguely recognize under your feet what feels like an earth tremor.
This must be the worms they were speaking of.
Lovely. Buy me time. You see that Winter kind of tosses her bag to the side, like on the ground. Like she takes it off her back and sets it aside. Pulls it open and pulls out another bag inside of it. And begins undressing.
And she.
I need all of you to stand back. Except you, Paladin. You're with me.
So
I don't even know what we're facing.
you see her like reaching into her pack and pulling out two like small poles that she like connects together, which form like a pole arm, which is a spear, a scrap spear she has.
After like a good handful of minutes pass by, Winter is now wearing a full plate armor minus the helmet.
I have a spare helmet if you would like.
No need. I'm hard-headed enough as is. At least so my father says.
Let's hope he's not wrong.
So she has drawn her longsword along with her tower shield. I think we turned the market off.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm used to seeing people of your station typically carrying something more along the lines of a mace or a, something of the sort, not necessarily a blade.
What kind of knights are you looking at?
Forgive me.
Everyone just now just suddenly just had in their head just...
What kind of knights are you? Obviously, the wrong line.
No, I honestly thought she was a cleric, not a knight.
That was to be led on. She keeps her robes and her armor separate.
Gotcha. Well, I would suggest for the remainder of the journey, you stay fully armed at as many times as possible. Barring rest, of course.
So you have some level of sane.
I was going to make a comment, but never mind. Just depends on the person. I prefer to sleep with my armor on.
Come on, let's move forward while we still have the chance. If we can avoid a fight, I'd much rather do so.
My brain. First thing, just the fucking explosion in the distance. What was that? That was the sound of me saving your life.
That was the sound of me on the toilet.
You're making me want to do more adult stories, but I'm trying to refrain.
Did I ever tell you about this one time about a Keith?
Oh, you don't have time for this, Ellis.
Okay.
No. Please do tell gulp stories.
Well, like she's she's got her javelin out, and she's like, "Careful with this rumbling." It kind of reminds me of a time that. No, I did not forget. No. The last time somebody crossed me, I did not put laxatives in their food. The last time somebody crossed me, I calmly accepted it. Like, because like, so yeah, she's like, also remember, never in any circumstances use the firehole burger for revenge, because their underwear will tap them on the shoulder and say run.
Alright. So how are we proceeding?
Well, I'd imagine
with our feet.
Sorry.
I would say cautiously.
Yeah, we're doing it cautiously.
Alright, I'm gonna need everyone to make me a stealth check.
I will personally decline that stealth check, sir.
Okay.
Cautious does not mean stealthy for me.
Okay.
However, I would like to use this opportunity to keep my guard up.
Okay.
So, would you rule that as perception or something else?
I would say perception check, yeah.
Cool.
That'll be an 18. Holy crap, I finally got a good roll.
I got a 20, like total.
Okay.
I also have an 18 on my perception.
Okay. So with the perception, you're trying to keep pretty much tags. That's not what word I'm looking for, but it'll work for now. Um, keep in check with a lot of the natural fauna and how they're behaving and how they're kind of scattering around. You actually within the pits of night. It's not that hard to miss actually. Somewhere in this area, you're watching the sand shift, like settling in it itself.
Okay. Was how do I
Oh, so that is not there. This is not there.
Okay, that was my question.
No, that this is just a map I'm using. It's more or less any like actual natural structure, like anything like this or that. Pay no attention. Just imagine it's actually just sand.
Okay. Cool.
This is just something I ripped off the internet because I didn't think we were gonna get this far.
Right.
Surprise, goofball.
Progression.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm still going to direct the party head somewhere in this general area. Avoid over here as much as possible.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead after that. Make a roll.
And I will actually be keeping closest to that section there.
Okay. Going to shift about here. Okay, stop it. No, that's not. Okay, I guess that's not the shift I wanted. There we go. That's more accurate.
Gonna direct everyone stop.
So you know that how like when your cat is under a blanket, how the blanket will shift.
Yep.
Essentially, imagine that, but with a shit ton of sand.
Got a motion for everyone stop. Stay quiet with the finger in front of the mouth. And point toward the shifting sand.
At this point, when he points it out, yeah, everyone notices this massive amount of sand just shifting. It doesn't get called the shifting dunes for a reason.
Well, it does have a reason. Restricted.
Precisely.
So what's the plan? We're not going to attack this thing.
Shh. Stay silent. Stay still.
Hello, child.
Now that it's in that section, I'm going to direct them to move forward.
Okay.
Is this part here?
That is there. That's also a
Okay.
that's also a drop.
Yeah. I'm going to direct everyone to try and move around that.
Hello, child. Okay. So go ahead and move the pieces where you're wanting to lead them. Okay.
And then me, I'll stay that way, facing the possible threat.
Right. As you're moving, it is also moving. Go ahead and make me another perception check, specifically.
That was almost bad. That's going to be a 19.
19. Nature check on top of it then.
Nature. That's gonna be a 13.
13. So you've noticed that the more closer to, and as it's gone from here and it's going like this now, you've noticed that after from about here, it slowed down. You're not sure why. You have an idea, but you're not confident in your answer.
At this moment, I'll go ahead and draw my spear. Motion for everyone to stay silent, but to be prepared.
Okay. Roll. Matter of fact, I think this would be easier. Let me just real quick.
You're grabbing that great worm, aren't you? Yeah. I thought so.
It's easier because if it's like pop, you're all fucked. But when it pops up, it's not nearly that big. To be fair, it's no dune worm, but it's a good enough compass area to where its movement shift is.
Yeah.
We have worms here, the likes of which not even God has seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna direct them to keep moving.
This way.
Yes.
Okay.
I shall join them sticking near the edge of that drop.
Did its little movement. Pretty much back and forth at this point.
I'm gonna motion for them. Just keep going.
Keep going.
Playing
Just keep going.
3D chess with a 2D opponent. Don't ask how it works. It works like shit.
Okay. Keep going.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep going and fucking swimming.
I'm gonna need Sean and Kana to make me another stealth check.
Alrighty. Date's gonna be it's gonna be a 17.
Gonna be a 17 there, mate.
Stealth, you said, right?
Yeah.
Please be some stealthy beavers.
21.
Okay. River. Why don't you have me roll 1, 2?
Hold on, zero.
Uh, 15.
15.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. 12.
Well, that's a bit different.
Yeah, it's I have a +6 to my stealth. I thought the 6 was a 9 for a second.
So you notice that the slow shifting as it was kind of encompassing this little small area. Something of yours dinks into the rock And that dink alone is what triggers the sand shift to kind of barrel speed towards you.
I'm gonna think quick on my feet. I'm gonna grab whatever bottle of whatever I got, anything that can break, and try to throw it over in this general area.
Okay. Makes me a sleight of hand check.
14.
What does it get? Okay. So as you pretty much just, oh shit, just start fumbling through your bag. You pull out a used health potion that you kept the flask for, and you hurl it, shattering it on this. That shatter alone, and the fumbling of the glass pieces in the sand, causes it to just burst out of the fucking sand and headfirst dive into this sand section right here.
I'm gonna motion for everyone to fucking bolt. Did we bolt, boys?
Well, she's like, all right, my ability. Like, let's go.
Everyone athletics check.
Oh, what check?
Athletics.
That's a working class 20, my friend.
Let's go!
Working class 20s. Try and save the day.
I'm so good. Good athletics. God damn. 18.
18? Okay. So,
Oh, did I not put it? I didn't put anything for athletics. Dang it! Knew I missed something.
What's your strength mod?
Her strength mod is +0, but she got a 15.
okay. So, grand total, you guys managed to book it pretty fast, to the point where even... So as you're booking it, and you're doing what you can to just haul ass, you're watching as a bunch of, like a small pack of jackals, that you watch as their heads kind of follow you, like a dog would follow something that's running by furiously. See the sandworm, and then proceed to scatter like cockroaches to the light.
Yes.
With your previous perception check there, Ornithalis, you managed to notice a small cave within one of the rock formations.
Towards or away from the worm?
Towards the way you are running. It doesn't matter which way you're running from the worm can go anywhere. Right now, it seems to be more occupied with jackals.
So, we're not talking right here, then?
No.
Okay, cool. So it's somewhere out that way?
Yep.
We're gonna make our way out towards that cave. Alright.
Alright.
At least that's the plan I'll present.
So as you're booking it, you guys head into the cave. Swear to God, if anyone says that they got fucking dark vision, but it pretty fucking dark.
Hey, I got
Yeah, I have dark vision, actually. Elf.
I was trying to do the meme. No one said
Shoot that guy.
No.
I'm not familiar with this meme.
Apparently,
Hey.
everyone, anytime is like, you're in complete darkness. We have dark
I have
vision.
dark
I
vision.
said darkness!
Bruh.
Hey, did you know? I have dark vision.
I will say dark vision is OP as fuck.
With how it's being used most of the time. Fuck!
Yes.
So, I'll just... This. Why has it gotta be a fucking web P? I don't want a web P. I want a fucking PNG. I'm going to complain now. Yeah, what this asshole said.
And you wonder why you're single.
Who are you saying that to?
Myself.
Ah, I see.
The fuck? Upload, you daft cunt. Thank you.
Oh, there goes your chances at being able to upload this.
What?
Dropping the C word like that.
Oh, I've said it more than plenty of times. It is what it is. Alright. It's cold. It's dark. It's cavey. It's got sand.
Oh, just like home.
Just like home.
Without the sand.
Also, are you the cats in the coat?
No, that's winter.
Ah, I see.
What'd you just call me? No, I'm not 3 cats in a trench coat.
I'm 4.
I'm actually 5.
All right. Let's move our way in. Do I know if Kana and Winter have dark vision?
Winter for sure doesn't, because Dragonkin typically don't, unless they're a specific scale brand.
Right. Me as a player, I'm aware of that.
Right.
Character-wise.
But being how old you are,
True.
I would
I'm
say
a couple hundred at least.
I'd say that would be more of a question, because you're not sure. You've never heard of Gulp's kind.
Well, knowing about Winter here, I'll go ahead and light up a torch.
Okay. So notice and just give a nod.
Let's make our way in.
So,
shall we?
Going deeper into this cave, you find an opening, which opens to a fairly large region. And to your surprise, or at least everyone's surprise, it's fairly empty. Normally with caves, they got at least some kind of like rock cracks, or stalagmites, or even just things, something. No, this is like the equivalent of like the sand equivalent of like a shagged carpet.
What about the ceiling?
Ceiling? Oh yeah, it's got more than plenty of those little spiky things hanging.
Oh,
Popcorn ceiling.
Popcorn. Oh my god.
Remember, scratch your back against popcorn ceiling for a funny feeling.
well, at least we didn't enter a tunnel. What do you lot say making camp here?
Perhaps we should.
Not opposed. Could be interesting.
What was that, Kana?
I said, perhaps we should. I mean, we don't know what else is in here.
Wouldn't that be a reason for why we shouldn't? I don't trust this floor. It notes as something corrosive, at least. At least back
Well,
home
I'll
or
go
something.
ahead. I'll go ahead, scout it out a little bit. I'll make my way across this way.
Um, just scanning. As you further in, you're noticing that the farther in you go, the more you're finding rooms like this. An emphasis on the word rooms because you are. And going forward, you're trying to see if anything's in here with you. The further in you go, the more uncomfortable you get, just for the sheer fact of this seems more like a floor of sand than it does cave floor.
Keep moving my way forward.
Alright. So, same thing. You'll go all the way around, and this sand floor seems to essentially follow this path that naturally forms. And then you find this, which is your cookie cutter, like, mine shaft tunnel.
I'll take a peek inside without
Itch.
actually entering it.
Pitch black. Does have a very off-scene scent. It's not something of, say, brimstone or sulfur, but it's got a smell.
I can't even see someone in there.
You put your torch in there, snuffs out.
Magical darkness.
No, not like it goes out. Like you could pull with magical darkness, you pull your torch back out and it's lighting. It snuffs out.
Can't see in there. It snuffs out any physical light.
No, it doesn't snuff out the light. It snuffs out the flame. Like you are now holding a stick that is smoking.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
My only thought process is magical darkness because of the dark vision.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll go ahead and relight the torch and make my way back to the party.
Okay. So Winter has already started trying to set together a small campfire using just scraps of wannabe paper.
I'll
Kinda
tear
cut-
off about, I don't know, 4 inches of, like a 4-inch square of my coat
Okay.
and hand it to her.
So take it, throw it in with the tinder that she's making, light it, and then take a bunch of rocks that's laying around and pretty much make like a small circle to keep it contained. So, how goes it? Anything special?
A mine shaft further down. Snuffed out the lantern. Can't see a lick inside.
Lovely. Hopefully it's just a temporary thing.
What about out here? Any trouble?
Nothing we see. It's unsettling how clean it is.
It's almost as if it's been recently abandoned.
Might be.
Maybe something's inhabiting it still and don't want us around. Based off whoever lived here before.
And you, Aniva?
I've known a lot of caves. Well, the same stretch of cave. I don't feel right at this point. Something's not right. Can't put my finger on it. But something's not right.
Do we trust it enough to camp for the night?
Maybe at least have shifts. Maybe not as far as just we all sleep.
If one of you
I can see if I can install an alarm on Bob Billy.
all I need is 4 hours, then I should be good. And after that, I can continue to stay on shift.
Very well. Gulp. Miss Gulp, go ahead and install that alarm. I'll take first watch.
So she ties like several pieces of scrap that are hollow in nature to like small strings or rope and wraps them around Bob Billy's arms and forces him into a T pose. All right, Bob Billy, here's the plan. If so much as anyone that you don't recognize among us gets close to us that you can see them, I want you to shake your daggum booty and wake us up.
Ability just starts twerking.
That thing shakes its posterior at me. I am leaving and taking my chances with the worm.
There, I installed the alarm. I told him to command. Now we just wait. If anyone comes near us that's not us, he's going to wind chime the hell out of us.
Well done. you lot go ahead, take care of the little bit you need to take care of. Get some rest. Eat. And then, Aniva, I shall wake you whenever it's your turn.
Understood.
See, I part of me is like, this is a great place to call it because then we could have Lancey. But at the same time, I'm also like, damn, I want you guys to keep going because I have a thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, I know we want to have a thing.
We have a thing? Oh, that's so sweet.
I know, right? How
Yeah,
romantic.
let's keep going.
Aw, ain't that cute?
Yeah, let's go for a little longer. I got another hour in me.
All right, so
Yeah.
who is? Let me put it. So when Terry is sleeping, Envea. Is that how you pronounce it?
Eneva.
Eneva. I was close. I just switched up the E and the V. Eneva.
Feel bad. No, Jay.
Dyslexic. Eneva.
Stupid.
So Eneva,
Meditating.
Winter. Who else is sleeping?
Well, you see, like Gulp just basically stuffs a burger in her face and just kind of like gulps it down like a boa constrictor
dies on it.
and then falls asleep.
Okay.
I'm on first watch.
Okay. Make me that perception check.
Ooh, perception is 16.
16. Okay. See what my notes say here. $15?
16.
16. Okay. So, as the crew is sleeping and Ability is T-posing to assert dominance over everyone, it's eerily silent. The longer you're in here, the more your mind begins to grow anxious. Just from the clean floors, the torch getting snuffed out once it got into that little tunnel, and just pure silence, with the exception of the crackling of what little bit of fire there is. Over time of a handful of hours, the air begins to feel heavy, as if something unseen is pressing in, a feeling that you are familiar with a faint clicking sound, like a claw tapping on stone, and then just suddenly stops. Nothing directly threatening, but something might be near.
I'll go ahead and stand up and take a peek down both ends of the hall.
Okay. So, stand up, kind of like,
Frank.
fish.
Called me a bitch for a second there. I was gonna say, oh damn.
As you kind of like
Fish.
slowly and cautiously kind of approach the fork, So obviously to the left, it's just that wall, but to the right, you can see a very faint shimmer in the darkness. Could be the light reflecting off of something. Not sure what it is from the distance. But that smell you smelled earlier closer to the tunnel, you're smelling it very faintly over here now, as if whatever was in there has gotten stronger.
I'm going to, how many hours has it been?
About 2.
About 2? Okay. I'm going to slowly start making my way over there, spear in hand. Not necessarily posing as a threat, but making it very, I'm prepared to become a threat in a moment's notice.
Right.
So it's sort of like that half lax position.
Right. So that you could reflexively attack if need be.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm gonna make my way towards the smell and the tapping sound that I heard.
So, slowly but surely, as you cautiously take steps back to the mineshaft tunnel, spear in hands, air remaining unnervingly still, no wind, no nothing, just the weight of darkness. But you're noticing dust being kicked up. I'm not saying kicked, but has been kicked up. Like something was here. As you proceed forward, that smell has gotten even stronger. Once you pass this little overhang here is when it's the same level of when you were directly next to it. Once you turn that corner, it's like a punch in the face level of strong. You finally know what this scent is. You can now identify it. It's decay, rot, flesh. But
I'm going to,
you want to make me a perception check,
Alright.
actually.
yeah.
I forgot you had dark vision, so I was like, yeah, actually, give me that check.
Perception is going to be 16.
You can't see it, but you're confident something's in that tunnel staring at you.
I'm going to take about 20 feet closer.
Okay.
Any change?
No? Again, you can't see it, but you know. You can sense the presence.
I'm gonna move forward again. About there. And I'd like to make another perception, see if I could actually get a visual.
Yeah, go for it.
Jesus Christ. That's another 16.
Okay. One sec. Just gonna make a roll. Okay. 16. Right, yeah, 16.
Yeah.
Okay. So, once you get close enough to actually try and make out a shape, that's all you're really seeing. A shape. Something about the same size as you, maybe larger. Give or take. Yeah, it's a little about the same size as you, a little larger. It's got broad shoulders. I'm trying to figure out how to describe this thing. It's got broad shoulders, a little wide. If you had to guess, its arm length probably is longer than natural. Can't really make out a head. It might be hunched over.
Okay. I'd like to use in would you roll it as insight or something else to try and determine if I can tell what this species is, if it's a species at all?
Hmm. That wouldn't be insight. Ooh. No. Religion.
Religion, okay. So with a +2 to my religion, that's gonna be a 22.
Okay.
I just nat 20 that bitch.
Between the metal clicking of like a claw, and this thing is like naturally dark. Like it's making a shadow figure even in pitch black darkness. You can see a shadow outline, so it's prominently darker than pitch black, so that you could see it, or it's just wanting its presence known. You're not making out a head. This thing is definitely something ethereal, or at least incorporeal. Because you're also just now realizing there's no prints in the ground outside your own from when you last came.
All right. So I'll go ahead and say friend or foe, but I'll say it in abyssal.
This'll. It'll answer back with why.
Also speaking abyssal?
Yes, it answers back in abyssal with why.
The letter or the question?
It's asking
Is it
why
asking?
I ask.
No, I just immediately think to Randy Feltface. Is he asking why I'm asking this question? Or is it a why for yes? But he is so up through with grief that he can't handle the E and the S.
Bruh. Oh, man.
Bro, Brandy Feltface is low-key one of the funniest people I know. It's not the fact that he's Aussie, it's just he's unironically funny. He makes connections that aren't there and turns them fucking hilarious.
Yes. Alright. I'll go ahead and answer his question. My allies and I are just looking for a place to spend the night. We'd much prefer to keep things peaceful, and I've no interest in fighting unless it means to protect the lives of me and my own. So once again, I shall ask, are you friend or foe? And all of this is in abyssal.
It'll respond with "Stay in your lane." But it's not saying it like intimidatingly. It's more of a warning. Make me an insight check.
Let's see. Insight is going to be 15.
15.
Yep.
A part of you is pretty confident that comment is not directed at itself.
That the comment is not directed at itself.
Like he's telling you, like, I'm gonna ask you again, friend or foe. We just want to stay in the night, and then we go on our way. It's telling you to stay in your lane, but not in reference to itself. Like it's
Okay. I see.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's referring to another force.
It's not me you're gonna have to worry about, kind of thing.
Is the threat that you speak of. Let's see how I want to word this. And all of this is in character, by the way.
Right.
Are we safe as long as we stay in the cave and don't enter the shaft? That
Correct.
seems to be the best way. If you don't mind, what exactly is within the shaft that's so dangerous?
What
Or
you
whom
mortals
should I
would
mention?
refer to as a portal to hell. Things that are not meant to be seen by mortal eyes. Cursed. Hexes. Things that can devour your very soul. Just touch. Simple. Atom to atom. Things you're not meant to comprehend. Know about. The fact you found this cave is astonishing. But note, there's a reason your torch was removed of its light.
I'd like to make a history check, see if I know anything about any rumors of any sorts that surround what anything relevant to what he's saying.
Okay. You would get that full bonus with that.
Mm. 27.
Okay. So, it is rumored, emphasis on the word rumored, that there is supposedly supposed to be something underground that is quite literally just a door to the underworld, which is one of the quickest ways that Drakic could get forces from the underworld to Mazdaca, but it was the only place that had it, and it was not naturally made there, someone made it there. However, these are all rumors made of a combination of folklore, religious texts, and utter bullshit, kind of mashed into a fuckwad sandwich.
So you're telling me there's actual truth behind Drakic's passage?
Drakic has never laid foot upon the mortal realm, but his followers have interesting ways to make shortcuts. You received a text message, by the way.
Two, actually. Three, actually. No fourth? Okay.
I received the text message you said.
Oh, I was making a reference to that notification sound.
Yeah, no, that was someone trying to call me. So, Drakich has never set foot here, but his forces did make use of the passageway, you said?
Drakkar has never stepped foot on the mortal plane. However, his followers certainly found ways to make shortcuts. Because normally you'd have to use planar travel. Because it is rumored, through religious scripture, that the underworld of which Drakich and the Keeper of Death and the God of Death and the God of Judgment house a plane-like world that is a planet inside of a planet several thousand miles under the sea level.
Gotcha. Okay. And how can... Do I have your word that we shall remain safe as long as we don't pass that passageway?
Have I harmed you yet?
You have not. However, I did notice that you did come to check on us.
Check on you.
One.
Not often many people find this.
I just want to make sure that we don't find ourselves in a needless battle. If
You
you
would
keep...
lose, but peace is kept so long as the past is kept.
I doubt not that it would be a very difficult fight for us, and victory would be very difficult for us to achieve.
Would you like to test that theory?
Preferably not. Which is precisely why I asked for some form of proof, and I shall give you form of proof for my willingness to remain peaceful.
Make me a sleight of hand check. It's gonna throw something at you.
Yeah, that's gonna be a 15.
Throws you a talon, like a hawk talon made of pure silver.
Alrighty. And I'll go ahead and toss it a silver crest with a pine leaf in it.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I don't know how long I will be, just fair warning. My stomach is deciding that dinner is processed.
Alrighty. Go ahead, pause that recording.
Yep.
Is Gulp turning out to be a fun character?
Alright, not gonna lie, I completely forgot what we were talking about before I had to go settle a thing. Oh,
We
you,
just
you exchanged
tossed
trinkets.
Yeah. That
Okay.
we did. I'll return in the morning to, or let me know whenever we start recording again.
Oh, we've been.
Okay. I'll return in the morning to retrieve mine and hand you back yours.
No need. It will be alright. And to go kill.
Very well.
So what you doing now there, Sonny? Excuse me, I asked you a question.
I'll go ahead and return to camp.
Okay, there's a husky over here. Why, hello there, child. There's be a baby over here. Certainly it must be all happy if it's deciding it's nap time. Lazy ass.
You return to
Bruh.
camp, and exactly how you left it.
Bet. I'll go ahead and hold out the rest of my watch until it's time to swap with Avina
Okay.
or Aniva. My bad.
All good.
Geneva.
Yeah, just remember what Gulp says. Remember their
Yep.
name.
Yes. Anything more interesting happen?
Are you doing anything, Sean? Are you keeping watch? Are you doing anything?
Well, he said that he would take first watch, so I'll take second watch. So I'll be meditating off to the side for now.
All right. Make me that perception check.
Oh, what?
Make me that perception check.
What the hell did this come about? Okay. $15.
15? Okay. As the night progresses, your discomfort with this cave continues. It doesn't grow. At this point, it's gotten to its peak of anxiety. Until you could have sworn you saw something move off in the distance.
Well, let's leave. No, no. No.
I have an idea. Let's leave!
Leave! No, I'm the smartest idea. No. I'm just gonna look over. I'm not gonna walk over. I'm just gonna look over from the safety of my fucking spot and just.
You look over, don't see much of anything. Dust, darkness, a rock wall.
Rock!
As the tank from Left 4 Dead would say, rock.
Now, was it just like a passing feeling of, hey, might be something over there?
You visibly in your peripheral vision saw movement, but when you look over, there's nothing there.
Movement. Okay. My happy ass is going to happy ass pick up my things, move slightly closer towards the middle of the group, keeping my eye on that spot.
throughout the rest of your watch, you don't really see or hear or feel anything really for the remainder. Everyone gains the benefits of a long rest. Orthalis, as you instinctively go to reach for that trinket that you were given so that you could return it, you are greeted with your own trinket being in its place.
I see. Coolio. Well, I won't complain about that.
So how are we wanting to proceed?
Yeah.
At all?
Thanks.
Yes.
How are we want to proceed? Yes.
Yes. Proceed. Indubitably.
Quite indubitably so, my friends. So yes, I think we're ready to exit the cave after a quick breakfast.
Okay. Quick breakfast. Everyone gains the.
Am I cooking it?
Do you want to?
I can. Pyra, would I have the supplies for bacon and eggs?
Bacon and eggs? Eggs, yes. Bacon, probably not.
Well, it's like, who wants scrambled eggs?
Sure, I'll take some.
Can't believe I'm
Like
saying
bacon,
this,
but-
but I might as well.
What are they made out of?
Eggs.
Eggs.
He's just gonna get again. What? I don't exactly know what those are.
So, let me put it to you this way then. You know how most individuals, when birth, they come out of the mother, yes?
Yes.
Well, most
Totally.
young will come out of an incubator of sorts, such as
Okay.
that, as what is commonly referred to as an egg. Those that come out of them come from many dragons, chickens, all kinds of things. Most commonly, the chicken variants are those cooked and consumed for its excessive protein content.
Okay. Okay. I can understand that, I guess. I mean, I don't exactly understand it, but I'll
Give
try
it a
my best.
try, you might then.
Sure.
You don't know what eggs are?
He's not
No.
exactly from around here.
Unless wherever he's from sorts M&Ms in alphabetical order, I think you would know what eggs are.
I wouldn't think Too quickly on that.
I'm stealing that insult.
Yes.
I am fucking stealing that.
It is a fantastic insult. I agree.
Uh, so she serves up scrambled eggs. She's like, "Come and get it."
Nah, 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 nah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make me a flat check.
Me?
Yes, you're the cooker.
You are the cook.
All right. $16.
You've done better, but you have certainly done worse.
I'm groggy, so I apologize if they're not exactly up to snuff of them fancy restaurants, but nothing could beat a good home cooked scrambled eggs.
So pretty much everyone will gain the benefits of well fed, uh, +1 to all skill checks for the next 8 hours.
Yay.
Like, by the way, I'm going to need to start looking around for more ingredients because I'm starting to run low on victuals. When we get to an area with some greenage, I'm going to need remind me to start looking for onion grass.
Okay.
Pyro, I assume you know what onion grass is.
No.
I well, it grows wild where I am, and it is a very edible, very useful thing, especially when it comes to culinary things.
That tells me nothing.
Well, so onion grass all is it's used in a variety of culinary ways, including sprinkling on leaves and flowers on salads, garnishing eggs, adding to soups, using it as a substitute for chives and dip, pickling the small bulbs, and even using the flowers as decorative garnish on dishes. You can use it anywhere you would use a mild onion flavor due to its similar taste to spring onions.
The spring
And
onions I'm more familiar with because I use them religiously.
it's really easy to find onion grass. It grows wild everywhere. I figured that'd be a lot easier to find and use for like smaller dishes in case Sculpt decides to cook up something. What do you think, Pyro?
Well, you're in a desert.
I know, that's why I said when we get to an area with more greenage. I know onion grass don't grow in the desert.
Okay. Alright. So everyone gets made invincible fed. Plus one all skill checks for 8 hours. What are we doing?
Well, we'll go ahead, exit the cave, and continue making our way towards our goal.
So you step out, flashbang.
Ah! Think fast, chuckle nuts.
Essentially. So you keep going further and further, and you eventually come to a spot that vaguely is described similarly to the way the textbook describes where he was buried. One problem is, if I can pull up the map, and you'll immediately notice it. Not exactly well and living.
Coolio.
So
I'll go ahead and start making my way forward.
Okay. So, approaching up, you have to kind of figure out how to shamble your way up these ruined stairs. Going forward, farther and farther, you can see a lot of ruin of what definitely appear to be some kind of entrance. You've got the massive pillars that got some kind of runes and writings on it, things that date any common language of scripture. You got the scarab offering dish that must have been on somewhere other than there because it looks very irregularly placed. And you do see a bunch of sand kind of like duned up on top of something that's on the center here. Hard to make out what it is.
can I see all this stuff?
You are currently not there, so.
Oh,
I'll motion for everyone to make their way up the same way that I did.
all right. And
Well,
she's looking around and she's like, "She, land sakes, look at all this stuff. How much you think that? What is that? Looky here." And she goes up to the scarab. This must be one of them fancy collection plates. And I'm going to use keen eye on it.
Not much really of interest.
Well, I mean, what you know what the keen eye does, right?
Yeah, it points out anything that you could salvage out of anything.
Well, even if even if I fail any checks to identify the value of it, I can learn of someone or some place where you can have the item's value measured unless you deem the item too rare or obscure.
Right. You've never seen anything like this.
She's like, "This is new. I probably shouldn't touch it though. You you know how you know how these things go. The next time you touch something that don't belong to you, they're gonna be boulders that are like arrows shooting out of stuff."
Hmm.
And she looks at Bob Biddley. No, I know what like no, I know what I was doing. What, you think that I'm the kind of person that thinks the band Nickelback is a refund?
Oh, so dumb.
So I'll also go up to the scarab and I'd like to make an Arcana check on it.
Connor, check. Can. Also, Connor, where'd you get the keen eye from? Is that from your background from the scrapper?
Scavenger, yeah.
Yeah. Keep forgetting. I was
That's
like,
gonna
no.
be a
No, say it's not an artificer thing. I knew it was something to do with your background.
10 total.
10?
Yeah.
As far as you know, this very much looks like the equivalent to like a decorative piece that was meant to be similar to like a thing that's supposed to reflect sun, using Nordic gold.
Okay. What about these guys here off to the ends?
They also are mostly just decorative. They are historically known to be the equivalent of watchers,
So
while
like
the others are meant to be the protectors.
like Yamasu.
Kinda. Yes, but no. I see where you're going with that.
Gotcha. Gonna make my way up to here. This thing here.
Yep.
What is it?
You've got a shit ton of sand to push off to see what it is.
I can help you with that if you'd like.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Bob Biddley, enter sandblower mode.
Sandblower.
It's like leaf blower, but for sand.
And she like has Bob Biddley like you see Bob Biddley like salute like always here for service, and then he goes up to the sand and like
Wrong pipe. Fuck.
Damn.
Ow.
so she like starts like pressing like a crank on him, and then he starts and she gets on top of the pile and starts digging through it like how a dog would when they're digging in the ground.
Okay.
And Bob Biddley is just kind of like suctioning the sand and spraying it out his back end.
So, Sean, is Aniva taking any participation?
He's going to sit back and observe.
Okay. So, I'm gonna have you make the first perception check as they're clearing shit off. Because Winter is
Me?
going to assist as well.
Okay. So, perception check.
Yeah.
Go. $16.
So as they're clearing sand and pushing them out of the way, after a certain amount of time, you begin to realize that fairly confident that this is a sundial.
Oh. Oh. Hey, you know what he doesn't have? What the fuck is the sun?
Oh, gods.
They've clocked out for the day. But by the time that everyone has cleared off the sand, you will all then quickly establish that it is a sundial as well.
Now look at this. We done dusted off one of them fancy Earth Rolexes.
A what?
Well, it's like a watch, but for Earth, and like it's like the Earth. It's like the Earth has its own fancy watch, and the sun is like helping us see what time it is based on what position the sun is in the sky. But I guess once it got covered, the sun lost the Earth lost custody of the sun.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm aware what a sundial is, but you refer to it as a sun Rolex? Was it?
Where I come from, we sell all kinds of different goods and services. But anyway, wonder what this old sundial's for, besides it telling the time. I wonder who put it there.
They're the same people who built the tomb.
Do you think there was something special they were looking for, or they just wanted to know what time it was?
Looking for... no. Protect, yes. Sundials typically are not made in this size unless they are made for a mechanical purpose.
Maybe something happens once the sun reaches the center of the sky.
That's scientifically impossible.
No, it's not. The sun can reach the center of the sky.
The sun has no... the sky has no center. That's what I'm getting at.
While they're bickering, I'm gonna do an investigation on this thing.
Yeah, go for it.
17.
17. So the runes are definitely of a very ancient language. Definitely pre-day zero. It is so old that even you can't make it out. The textbook that is talking about this location might have something, but you're also pretty confident that what Winter is saying is faintly correct, because you're seeing little slivers of what is pretty much layers. The sundial is made in layers instead of one solid piece. You're pretty confident that once a certain thing is done, the sundial will then make an entrance.
I believe that the little one has some point. I say we should wait.
For what time? Because you... While he is correct, that's... well, it's made for telling time, but how do we know that the time of year is not in the play as well, if the shadow needs to be at exactly a perfect point?
Well, we give it a little bit of time. If nothing happens, say, by high noon, then We'll figure something else out.
If nothing happens by high noon when the sun's in the center of the sky, then we'll know then we'll just have to figure something else out.
The sun's never in the center of the sky. There's no center of the sky.
All right,
And
both of you.
I was just gonna
That's
look
enough.
up. I don't know. It seems like there's a center right there.
There's no center of the sky. Center to what you can see, but the minute you move, it's no longer the center.
Maybe they actually mean that at its highest point.
That would be the more correct point. Yes.
Well, they're
Center-
bickering. I'm gonna look at everything else around here.
Yeah. So, those ones appear to be, whereas the one over here is standing. These two are sitting. From what you can tell, it appears that they've got some sort of thing that they are holding in their lap. The one on the far left, you can see that at one point there's supposed to be something under his feet, like the equivalent of like a rug. But there's so much sand on this one that you're not sure what's under it, if it's got the same, or if it's nothing, or if it's different.
Hey, Pyro,
Hello.
I'm not going to say this joke out loud, but I'm just going to send it to you.
Okay, I'm gonna call over for Bob Bildy.
At your service,
And-
sir.
What you did with the sundial, would you also do here on the ground?
So you want him to dust off everything?
Yeah.
Why, it would be my service. No, nothing? Okay.
Yeah. No.
I didn't understand what you said.
It would be my service.
Oh.
Yeah, like you got to say it like you're a 1950s milkman.
How would you even know what they sound like?
From 1950s television, of course.
Did they? I thought they had radio shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Homie.
Well, it's not like he's going to be the milkman from Psychonauts.
What?
True.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
No.
I do.
I am the milkman. My milk is delicious.
Yeah, that was pretty sexual back then, if you took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I am the great mighty Pooh.
No.
Yeah.
I'm
Funny.
going to fling my shit. to-
So, does he actually start dusting off the sand?
Yeah. Yeah. He just like salutes you and starts going to work.
What the hell was that? Is that Shiva in the background?
Yes, it's Shiva and Reagan.
Oh, I see.
Alright. So, after he becomes a vacuum, yeah, it's got one of those wannabe carpets under it.
I'm going to investigate the carpet and tell Bob Bildy to do the same thing on the other carpet.
All right. He salutes you and is like, right away.
That could have been a little better on that investigation. That's gonna be a 16.
Okay.
Gonna take notes of this one. Once Bob Ability's done with the other one, he's gonna take notes of the other one as well. See if there's any hints, clues as to what could be happening.
So, with the 16 you got, it's not exactly a carpet or a rug per se, but it's more of a very heavily dyed, super thick wicket carpet. It's more of a massive sheet of wicket that was then made to be similar to what a rug would be for these statues that had then been dyed.
Okay.
And we're talking like 4 inches level of thick.
Damn.
Anything further?
Same thing with the other one? Or do you want another investigation on that?
No, it's literally the same thing. Just maybe slightly different coloring as far as fading goes.
Right. Okay. What about this guy here at the center?
That appears to be at one point some kind of altar. What was once upon on it definitely is no longer or is in shambles, and the altar itself is pretty fucking cracked. Probably could have been an offering table, a sacrifice table, could be anything. But without
Which
what was...
would you... Oh, go ahead.
But without whatever it was holding up as far as the statue was, because you could see remnants and pieces of clay and terracotta that would have been just the statue of whatever was on there. But without that present, you're not sure what it could have been used for.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see.
And yeah, like do we know any so like do we have any clues as to what's going on here?
Well, you're in the right spot. You know that much.
Like me?
Everyone in general.
So like I'm examining the scarab. I'm like, I wonder if this is one of them weighted things that if you put something on it that's weighted, like a coin or something, that it might do something. And she's like, let's see. And she pulls out one of her coins. It's like, I swear if there's a mummy that pops out of here, I'm gonna shove a tin can so far up its rear end that it's gonna make a booty call.
The very first booty call of all time. Oh, man.
So you set a coin down?
Yeah.
Hopefully my mic picked that up.
Yeah.
It did.
And she's like, starting to feel like Yukon Cornelius up in here. Nothing.
I'll make my way over, Winter. Could I look over that story one more time?
Yeah. I'm just gonna hand you the textbook.
Beautiful. So, I'm gonna look through it for I'm gonna try and figure out if there's like any hints or anything that speaks of like a puzzle mechanic here.
Right. Well, as you are flipping through, you are finding that this individual that's supposedly buried that you guys are looking for, that whole shenanigan, um, a lot of his stories are told in the midst of evening hours of his most triumphant, so there could be something with that. You do see similar symbols in pictures that are portrayed in certain pages of his triumphs that match similar writings of what is on the broken pillars. Um, as far as the statues go, they're not very well depicted, but there is a singular part of his story that shows him being judged um, at dusk. Doesn't depict what he was being judged for because it's missing a lot of context with that story. Similar like a diary entry of recalling a quick memory of at dusk this hero was judged, and in which case he was then deemed the hero of the Battle of the Sand. But that last part after sand seems to be smudged out, like there's supposed to be more to the story. Either the ink has faded or it got smudged out.
Cool. What kind of check would it be to see if I can piece together what that smudged out text says?
Uh, mm, I would say insight.
Insight?
Mm-hmm.
16 total.
16.
This
Okay.
dice love's giving me 16 totals today.
Hey, if it's rolling, it's rolling. So, you try to make it out. You kind of like keep re-angling the book to see if you can get the light to shimmer on any kind of faded ink. And you're finding a few letters, and you essentially piece together through context and just simple guesswork of what extra letters you're given. Deemed the hero of the Battle of the Sandpit Queen.
The Sandpit Queen?
Sandpit Queen.
Hmm. Oh, that's not at all concerning.
Well, you definitely did something heroic to be judged by two individuals to get a title. Say if you didn't get that title, what was going to be the other fate?
No, not that part. You're looking at it too broadly. What exactly is the Sandpit Queen?
I'm not sure. Could also be a translation error. I mean, these things are clearly older than dirt.
Could I do a history check on this one?
You can try.
+5 or +8?
This would be the full.
Cool, 25.
Okay. One second.
Sandpit. Sandpit. This judged at dusk by the sandpit barrel.
The more you think on it, the more you start becoming more stumped. The only thing that you could remotely think of that might have any remote of connection is whatever you saw last night.
Alright. Well, what we do know is he was tested at dusk.
So that would be between, say, 7 and 11.
Probably. Gulp. Aniva.
Yes.
Go ahead and make yourselves comfortable.
Are we gonna be here a while?
Yes, we are. And on that note, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Yep.
So, any closing words, Pyro, or are you gonna continue without me for a while?
So what I'm probably gonna do is when Lancey's gonna catch up, and you're just gonna stay behind to kind of keep an eye on the outside, make sure that no one gets in. Because obviously, eventually, that tomb is going to open. That's a given. Otherwise, what's the point of this adventure? Yeah.
Right.
To be a tomb?
Yes.
I think its point is to not open.
Well, we're here to open the tomb.
Disturbing the